Question number 7 and question number 8 are the most simplest question that would be done by the students themselves. It is given that principal in case of question 7, principal Ramesh invests 12,800. So principal is 12,800 at the rate of 10%. At the rate of 10%. Compound interest. For how much time? For the duration of 3 years. So it is given 3 years. The first part that they are asking, find the sum due at the end of first year. So what we will do? First we will find out compound interest. After finding out compound interest, 12,800 multiplied by 10% for 1 year. That would be 1280. Can you find out amount due at the end of 1 year? Yes sir. 12,800 plus 1280. So this is the amount due at the end of first year. Found out. Second part they are asking is the interest he earns for the second year. So compound interest for second year would be 14080 multiplied by 10% for 1 year upon 100. 0000. So this would be 1408. This is the compound interest for second year. What is asked? The principal for third year would be 14080 plus 1408. That will amount to 88451 rupees. They are asking find the total amount due to him at the end of third year. I feel guys you can do this question by yourself. Find out compound interest for third year. That would be 15488 multiplied by 10% for 1 year, which would be 1548.80. The amount that he will get at the end of third year would be 15488 plus 1548.80. So my dear friends, here we go. You get the answer as 17,036.80. Such a simple question. Let's go on to question number 8. What does it say? Question number 8. Rupees 8,000 is let out at 7%. So principal is 8,000. Rate 7% per annum. At the end of the first year, 3560 are returned. So there is a repayment. We have already done a question on repayment at the end of first year. So repayment at the end of first year is 3560. Find out the interest paid for the second year, the total interest paid in 2 years, the total amount of money paid in 2 years to clear the debt. It is a very simple question. Find out the compound interest for first year. 8,000. How much? 7% for 1 year. So the interest would be 8 sevens are 560. So what is the amount? Sir, the principal for second year would be 8,000 plus 560, 8560. But sir, there is a repayment. So repayment. How much is the repayment? 3560. Repayment means we have to pay. So balance amount 5,000. After that, sir, compound interest for second year we can find out on 5,000. What is the rate? 7% for 1 year. So it will amount to how much? So rupees 350. Now we can go a little fast because we have already almost done around 15 to 20 sums in both the exercise. So probably maybe more than that also. So the first question was the interest paid for the second year. Interest paid for the second year is rupees 350. After that, the total interest paid in 2 years. What was the interest paid in first year? Total interest in 2 years would be 560 plus 350. See here, 560 first year and second year. That amounts to 910 rupees. Alright, this is the second part. Third part, total amount of money paid in 2 years to clear the debt. So total money paid. Now the thing is, before I find out total money paid, what is the amount that you have to pay to clear the loan? Sir, the total amount that I need to pay to clear the loan would be, I borrowed how much? 8,000. Okay? Plus sir, interest is 350. Perfect sir. Next interest. So why don't we take the total interest? Let's take the total interest, which is 910. So 0198. Now let us read the question what they are saying. First question was interest paid for the second year, found out. Second is total interest paid in 2 years, found out. Third is the total amount of money paid in 2 years to clear the debt. So total amount of money paid is, I paid loan of 8,000 and I paid this interest. So the total money paid. Now many people will make a mistake of taking into consideration this 3560 also. Don't ever do that, because when I have to clear my dues, what I will pay would be 5,000 plus 5,000 plus 350. That means the total amount that is due would be 5,000 plus 350. So if that way you see, the amount at the end of third year would be 5,000 plus 350. That is 5,350. In that case, you can check it out. This guy has paid 3560 first and 5,350 later. So that will also sum up to same amount. Don't ever go by this method, you will get confused. The best is, what is the principal amount? 8,000. What is the total interest paid in 2 years? 910. So what is the total amount paid to discharge my total loan? 8910. This is an easier way, very much understandable. I hope the matter is clear. So we are done with question number 8 also. Let's move on to question number 9. See, as we know for a fact that compound interest 2 equals to compound interest 1 plus interest on CI1. What about A4? Say A4 would be A3 plus interest on A3. You know why? We are taking into consideration, in all these things we are taking into consideration, my rate of interest is positive. That means my rate of interest is growing. There is a growth. But in case of depreciation, wherever there is a depreciation or wherever there is a degrowth, we had discussed this degrowth earlier also. We have discussed depreciation earlier also. In case of depreciation, my rate is negative. So whenever there is a depreciation, degrowth, my formula would be, generally D3 should be equal to D2 plus interest on D2. But now in this case, it will not be plus, it will be minus. We will not even call it interest, we will call it depreciation. So my dear friends, in case if you are doing a question on depreciation, one must learn to ensure that you have put negative sign over here. D5 would be D4 minus depreciation on D4. What does D stands for? Depreciation. What does 3 stands for? So 3 stands for year 3. So whenever we have degrowth or decrease in population or the rate of interest is negative, then in that case, my dear friend, the sign of positive will change to negative. Let us understand this with the help of illustration number 9. Now when you read illustration number 9, it says the cost of a machine depreciated by 4,000 during the first year. So depreciation in year 1 is rupees 4,000. D1 stands for depreciation. And by rupees 3,600 during the year 2. So second year depreciation is 3,600. They are asking you what is the rate of depreciation. What is the rate of depreciation? What is the original cost of the machine? Original cost not known to us. Remember, in this type of questions, original cost is nothing but the cost at which the machinery was originally purchased. In the sense, it is nothing but the principal. Assume, let us say a friend of yours purchased a machinery for 50,000. So that becomes the original cost of the machinery. For the first year, a machine is subjected to depreciation of 10%. You have bought a mobile phone. आपने मोबाइल फोन खरीदा 50,000 रुपए में. फर्स्ट ईयर में 10% उसकी वैल्यू डाउन होने वाली है. आप जानते हो कि उसकी वैल्यू डाउन होने वाली है. सो बेसिकली ऑन 50,000, 10%, that would be 5,000 rupees. So 5,000 is the depreciation for year 1. So what will be the value of your mobile phone after 1 year? So 50,000 minus 5,000. So 45,000 will be the value after 1 year. Precisely, you are absolutely right. That means the value of the phone after 1 year would be 45,000. So you can come to know that phone is the asset or the machine that is prone to depreciation and the value will go down. Now let us say I want to provide depreciation for 1 more year. That means year 2. So now the depreciation would be on 45,000 because the value of the phone now is 45. If you provide 10% depreciation further, my depreciation amount would be 4,500. So what will be the value of mobile phone at the end of year 2? So 45,000 minus 4,500. So the value of the mobile phone at the end of year 2 would be 40,500. That is why people say that mobile phones are a depreciable asset. Instead, if you would have invested the money into the bank, you would have got 10% interest. So 50,000 would have become 55,000 and 55,000 would have become 55,000 plus 5,500, that is 60,500. By investing in mobile, from 50 you came down to 4,500. Whereas by investing in bank fixed deposit, you moved on from 50,000 to 60,500. You can come to know the gap between 40,500 and 60,500 is exactly 20,000. That is your loss that you have made. Anyway, come to this question. D1 and D2 both are given. So can I say D2 equals to D1 minus depreciation on D1. So what is D2? So 3,600. What is D1? 4,000. So depreciation on 4,000, that means 4,000 into rate not available into time. What is the time duration? So from second year to first year or from first year to second year, it is 1 year. 0, 0, 0, 0. Please ensure that this 3,600, this 4,000 is shifted on this side. So minus 4,000. So we are left with minus 40 R. 3,600 minus 4,000 would be minus 400 equals to minus 40 R. Minus minus gets cancelled, therefore R equals to 10%. So my dear friends, rate of depreciation would be 10%. Very interesting. The second part of the question is find the original cost of the machine. That means they are asking me to find the principal. As you know, we have always been following that we will always assume a principal to be 1,000 rupees. So here also we will assume let original cost be rupees 1,000. What is the rate of depreciation? 10%. So depreciation for year 1 would be 1,000 multiplied by 10 upon 100 for 1 year. That will come up to how much? So it would be 100 rupee depreciation. Very interesting. When original cost is 1,000, my depreciation for year 1 is just 100 rupees. So when the depreciation would be 4,000, yes, what must be the original cost? We don't know. Let us say it is X. Can you solve this by unitary method? Yes, sir. How? Very simple, sir. Unitary method applies. X into 100. X into 100 is equal to 4,000 into 1,000. Absolutely right. So X equals to 4,000 into 1,000, the whole upon 100. That means the original cost of machine is rupees how much? 40,000. Absolutely fine. Fantastic. So the only thing is question has been twisted to negative growth, that is depreciation. The rest all thing is very simple. We have done much tougher sum than this, but this is again a very important sum. Genuinely one of teacher's favorite questions. Third part. Find its cost at the end of third year. So we know the original cost. We want to find out the cost at the end of third year. Now finding the cost at the end of third year is not going to be challenging. You need to understand precisely how we are doing it. If you have your focus on the question, you will not have a problem at all. As you know, what is the original cost of the machine? So original cost is 40,000. Any depreciation in first year? Yes, sir. Depreciation for first year was 4,000. Okay. So then it became how much? Sir, 36,000. Was there any depreciation in the second year? Yes, sir. My mobile phone which I got for 40, first year depreciation was 4,000. Second year, sir, the depreciation was 3,600. Most likely you can check it. Rate is 10%. 10% of 40, 4,000. 10% of 36,000, 3,600. So what is the balance? So the balance will be 32,400. Now you can make out depreciation for third year would be 32,400 multiplied by, the rate is available with us, my dear friends, 10% for 1 year. So it would be rupees 3240. This is the depreciation. What they are asking us, find the cost at the end of third year. So cost at the end of third year. So your mobile phone at the end of third year would be 32,400 minus 3240. So it will come up to how much? 1, 32. 32 minus 3, that's going to be 29. You saw, investment in mobile phone is never lucrative. We will always end up losing money. Question number 10, question number 11 and question number 12, they are all of the same type. Of course, question number 10 is little different, but 11 and 12 are very simple question. I will give you a guidelines how you need to do question number 11 and 12, but question number 10 I will do by myself. So please concentrate. Question number 10. What it says? Find the sum invested. So find the principal at 10%. You know, most important thing for you guys, please take down the data carefully. Because if you are paying attention to the data and if you are analyzing it properly, I am sure at the end you will get your solutions quickly without making any error. So find the sum invested at 10% compounded annually, on which the interest for the third year, so interest for the third year exceeds the interest of the first year. So compound interest 3 minus compound interest 1 is rupees 252. You saw how innovatively they are giving you so many different questions, but everywhere the element remains the same. Of course, same element, same formula, everything remaining same, yet different question. So principal is not given, rate is given to us, that is 10%. Compound interest 3 minus compound interest 1 is 252. When principal is not given, generally by and large, what we do? So let the principal be rupees 1000. Exactly. So what will be CI1? CI1 would be 1000 multiplied by 10% for 1 year. That would be, sir, rupees 100. Absolutely. Perfect. So what would be P2? So P2 would be 1000 plus 100. That would be 1100. So what will be compound interest for second year? 1100 multiplied by 10% for 1 year. That would be 110. So the compound interest would be 110. I always put compound interest in block. I never put principal in the block. So P3 would be, sir, 1100 plus 110. That is 1210. So 1210 is a P3. So in short, the amount or the compound interest for third year would be how much? So compound interest for third year would be 1210 multiplied by 10% for 1 year. 0000. That is 121. So guys, we got all the compound interest for the first year, that is this. For the second year, that is 110, and for the third year, which is 121. So can I say, when principal is 1000, CI3 minus CI1, CI3 minus CI1, when the principal is 1000, CI3 is 121 minus CI1 is 100. So how much it is? 21. So when the principal is 1000, CI is 21. If CI is 252, what would be the principal? Again the unitary method. X multiplied by 21 is equals to 1000 multiplied by 252. Therefore X equals to 1000 multiplied by 252 upon 21. Therefore X equals to 21 ones, yes, 1000 into 12. That will give you rupees 12,000. Absolutely precise. Let's move on to the next question, that is question number 11. Here we go. Now it is mentioned in question number 11, a man borrows 10,000. So here this time we are not investing, but we are borrowing 10,000 at 10%. Rate is 10%. Remember my friends, everywhere we have to write rupees, percentage, years, all that thing is a part of the game. To save my time, I may eliminate that, but you have to focus in your mind that while doing the questions in the examination, all those units will matter. And when I will be correcting your paper, that time also I will cut your marks whenever you are not going to write denominations or the rupees or the units. So a man borrows 10,000 at 10% compound interest annually. At the end of each year, he repays, that means he pays back 30% of the sum borrowed. So there is a repayment. Repayment how much? 30% of sum borrowed. Now what is the sum borrowed? So 30% of 10,000. Absolutely. At the end of each year. So they are saying that a man borrows 10,000 at 10% compound interest compounded annually. At the end of each year, he repays back 30% of the sum borrowed. How much money is left unpaid just after the second year? So let us find out first compound interest for first year on 10,000 at 10% for 1 year. That would be 1000 rupees. So what would be P2? So 10,000 plus 1,000, that is 11,000. Is there any repayment? Yes, sir. Repayment. How much is the repayment? Sir, we are repaying 30%. 30% of sum borrowed, that is 10,000. So that is how much? 3,000. So 3,000 is repay. I am putting that in the bracket, which means minus. So balance left 8,000. If you are not comfortable putting bracket, no problem, subtract. So now compound interest for second year would be 8,000 multiplied by 10%. into 1 year. That will give you how much? So rupees 800. So what is P3? So 8000 plus 800, that is 8800 less repayment. How much is repayment? So repayment is 30% of 10,000, which is same as 3,000. Oh, so the balance amount left unpaid, all right, equals to rupees 5,800. My last question is also based on the same thing. A man borrows 10,000 at 10% compound interest compounded annually. At the end of year 1, he pays back 30% of the amount for that year. How much money is left unpaid just after the second year? So what is the difference between the first and the second? Read carefully. A man borrows 10,000 at 10% compound interest compounded yearly. At the end of each year, he pays 20% of the amount for that year. That means in the first question, the repayment was 30% of sum borrowed. Whereas in the last question, that is question number 12, it is 20% of amount due. So how it will happen? So what is going to happen is 10,000, interest would be 1,000, so the amount would be 11,000. Now how we will do question number 12? Fine, I am doing it all over again. I am doing question number 12 for you. So on special demand, I am doing question number 12 as well. A man borrows 10,000 rupees at 10% compound interest compounded yearly. So borrowing is 10,000. The rate is 10%. It's all mentioned in the question. At the end of each year, he pays back. So there is a repayment clause. Please write down this repayment very clearly. It is mentioned that he repays back 20% of amount for that year. 20% of amount for that year. Now this is very, very important. So let's begin. What they are asking, find the compound interest for first year. 10,000 into 10% for 1 year, that will be rupees 1,000. Perfect. So my P2 is going to be 10,000 plus 1,000, that is rupees 11,000. Any repayment? Yes, sir. How much? Sir, I am repaying. My repayment is 20% of amount. So it will be 20% of, what is the amount due? Sir, पहले मैंने 10,000 लिया था, लेकिन इंटरेस्ट के कारण अब अमाउंट हो गया है 11,000. So at the end of 1 year, मुझे 11,000 पे करना है. But sir, I will pay only 20% of what is due. So 20% of this would be, I will pay 2,200. I pay. बैलेंस, सर बैलेंस में अभी नहीं पे करूंगा, बैलेंस में बाद में पे करूंगा. दिस इज द बैलेंस. सो कंपाउंड इंटरेस्ट फॉर सेकेंड ईयर वुड बी सर 8,800 multiply by 10% for 1 year. That means interest would be 880 rupees. What to do? So find out P3. That means 8,800 plus 880, that will give you 0, 8, 8 and 8, 16, 6 carry 1, 9. So your total amount is going to be 9680. Are you repaying anything? Yes. How much is the repayment? Sir, out of 9680, I will pay, again same thing. Repayment is 20% of amount. So I will pay 20% of 9680. How much this will work out to? Let us work out. 20% of so my repayment is, the amount due is 9680. less repayment. How much is the repayment? 20% of 9680. Can we work out? Yes, sir. 20% into 9680. 0000. 16, 12, 13, 18, 19. 1936. So you subtract 1936 from this amount. What you get is the 16 minus 9, that is 7, and 8 minus 1, that is 7. So amount unpaid is rupees 7744, unpaid at the end of second year. So my dear friends, these are the easiest questions so far what we have done. Entire D exercise is for homework. Entire D exercise I want children to solve by themselves. Entire D exercise I'm going to discuss with you on online, that is on any of the app which is suitable to all of us, and will sort out all our doubts and difficulties related to D exercise. For A exercise, B exercise and C exercise, we have already discussed each and every sum in detail. Though it took little extra time, but I'm sure at the end of the day, you will enjoy all the solutions that has been provided to you to build your confidence into the subject. Thank you so much for watching the video. Goodbye.